Hello and welcome to News 9. I am Nishchita. Well, a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court of India will change the face of gender equality in the nation. Transgenders are now officially the third category of sex in India.
Transgenders, a community which has been trodden under the weight of gender inequality, bracketed as taboo for generations and has faced the peak of discrimination. The Supreme Court, through its judgment, has given them a ray of hope. It granted recognition to transgenders as the third category of sex. The Apex Court has also asked the government to take remedial measures to prevent discrimination and harassment of the community. The Supreme Court bench, comprising of Justice K.S. Radhakrishnan and Justice A.K. Sikri, directed governments both at the centre and state level to provide medical and educational facilities and introduce welfare schemes for transgenders. The court also termed transgenders as socially backward community who are citizens of the country and have equal rights to education, employment and social acceptability. Transgenders are also citizens of India. The spirit of the Constitution is to provide equal opportunity to every citizen to grow and attain their potential, irrespective of caste, religion or gender. The inclusion of a third gender category would mean they are eligible for identity documents like the election card, passport, driving license and ration card, and for admission in the educational institutions, hospitals, access to public toilets, among others. The entire transgender community has welcomed this decision, and Bengaluru, having a large share of the population, was quite elated.
Judges have said that the word sex, which is a ground for non-discrimination under Article 15, includes gender identity and sexual orientation. This is hugely positive, which means that nobody should be discriminated because they are transgender, and also nobody should be discriminated because they are sexual minority. The benefits under backward classes. And that's a huge for jobs, schemes, various things. For the first time, we have a judgment that recognizes a section of people as transgenders. We didn't have it till now.
Yes, of course, I am so thankful to the Honorable Supreme Court of India for recognizing these marginalized and oppressed communities due to their gender orientation. I think this landmarking judgment which specifies for transgenders, I think it's a lobby table to take up such a landmarking judgment. Of course, we can say that since Supreme Court has done, why don't you? As per the direction of Supreme Court, which clearly said that it is directed to the state and central, please, this is the judgment, do something for this. Now it's a responsibility of the state. It's a responsibility of each human being to take up such a major issue, and no discrimination, no inequality. So we are human beings as you all.
For the entire transgender community and for the notion of equality is indeed a day of victory. A News 9 report.
And well, the big question that we're asking our viewers today, will the Supreme Court's recognition of the third gender actually help in their integration? Will it take more than a Supreme Court ruling for us to accept the rainbow society? To share your views with News 9, call us on 080-223-60303 or 04 or SMS us at 99809-45138. The numbers are flashing on your television screens. And to discuss more on this, in our studios, we have Mr. Manohar, who is the Joint Secretary of the Praja Rajya Vedike. And we also have with us Ms. Akai, who is the member of the Karnataka Sexual Minorities Forum. We have with us Mr. Shrikant, who is from Aneka. And we also have with us Mr. Nisha, who is from Sangama. Thank you all for joining us in our studios. I see you all smiling and being happy. So very, very good news for you all today.
Yes,
yesterday, in fact.
Yes.
So what was your first reaction? Is this something on expected lines? Because you were telling me how it is a landmark verdict, not only for the country, but for the world.
It was a great judgment because for the first time we have a judgment that says that transgenders have a right to identify either as male or female or a third gender. And it also says that to be recognized as a transgender, you don't have to be forced to go for a sex change. In many countries, unless you go for a surgery or a sex change procedure, you are not accepted as a transgender. Unless that happens, they don't change your gender in the registers. In India, we got that. And it's a far-reaching judgment because it talks about equal rights. It talks about giving reservations, like it clearly says that they should be considered under the educationally and socially backward people. That means we're talking about backward classes, what we call OBC, SC, ST, OBC, that categorization. So there is benefits for government jobs and for education under that. And it also talks about not treating transgenders like untouchables, and a public campaigning by the government to change things. And it also says complete social and cultural development of these people, and they ask for special schemes to be delivered. It's a great judgment. If the government can implement it, it can completely change transgender situation. India can become a model for the world on this issue.
Ms. Sakai, in the backdrop of the Delhi High Court verdict based on Section 377 being set aside, you all were very unhappy with the Supreme Court. You all felt that the country was moving backwards. So do you think that this particular judgment is probably a ray of hope for your community?
I'm still unhappy about the Section IPC 377 judgment which was given by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. But when it specifies for the gender minorities, which includes the diversity of identities within, which specifically talks about hijras, jogapas, jogtas, marladis, shivshaktis, female-to-male transgenders, I think some of the Supreme Court of India has really done its perfect job and opened the original eyes towards these marginalized communities, where we were completely rejected by all the sections of the society, which includes your own family, your education, your employment opportunities, of course the state. I think some of the judgment is really very, very supportive. It's a we can use as a tool to educate to all the sections of the society, especially the main sectors which we speak about: legislation, judiciary and execution, of course the large public. I think now the responsibility has been increased for two sections. One is that the state and the community members. Yeah. So we'll come forward. Please, you also come forward to understand our feelings and movements thing. And so no discrimination, no negligence, no rejection at all in future. At least now we are so happy about that. And we need to thank Justice Altamas Kabir, who is the former Chief Justice Supreme Court of India, and Justice Manjula Chellu, who is the present Chief Justice of Kerala High Court. I mean to thank Justice N.K. Patil and Justice Vikramjit Sen, of course Vishwanath Viyangadi and Sri Mustafa Hussain, people who were behind the scene and done a lot of things for this community. Of course, these are key people to speak about the gender orientation, gender diversity and social exclusion, medical aspect, legal aspect, economical aspect. So these kind of the major issues which were brought before the society and table to have a dialogue on this. I think without these people it was very difficult to have a landmark judgment like this today. I thank on behalf of all the sexual minorities today to all those people.
Right. Mr. Srikanth, you're sitting here with us, you're a transsexual. Yeah. So you must have gone through a lot in your life. So what kind of a ray of hope, what kind of a change does this judgment bring to you? What kind of a relief does it bring to you?
I am very happy with this judgment because the judgment include all category of transgenders. So as a transsexual man, I am want to say that when I went for surgery, it's very costly for us, and in society there is no space for transgenders. So now the judgment saying that SRS not required for choosing your gender. So is in my community the low class people can recognize or identify as male. So it's very happy. I am very, very happy with this.
So do you think that with this judgment maybe there will come a day when in our country you can actually come to a show in our channel and not wear the mask?
No, it's a problem. Why still this happiest days I forced to wear this mask. Why? Because the society. I hope that today or before that I can come openly without this mask to see this media, society, also my family.
So you hope to come that way?
Yeah.
Can you share your story with us? Tell us what exactly happened.
My native place is in Kerala, and I when my parents starting to propose marriage something, and before that I feeling so much my identity and sexuality, so I decided to run away from my native place. So that way my
what was that sense of confusion?
In my childhood I behave like I don't know, I behave like my like a boy. Me and my friends did not identify as a female, because I am in meet with that people, so I don't know why that feel came to me. I don't know that. My when my childhood, I feel that I am a man. I am a boy.
You didn't try changing it. Your parents didn't try changing you.
Yeah, but that time my families didn't know about my sexuality or gender. But some problems came. They have with some confusion. And my brother spoke with my mother that we want to get to meet psychiatrist for our sister or child. That time I fear so much. If that doctor identified, then he told to my family, I can't face that situation. So that fear is so much. I can say that the value. So I decided to run away from my native place, and before my friend came to here, he also like me. And he told about Sangama, and here how so many transgenders like us. I am very happy. Then I strongly decided to come here. One day I came to Bangalore from to Sangama, and now family in my family is Sangama.
So now your family is supporting you?
Yeah, after 2 years I called family members, and I went one day. There is no problem. They can change me. They realized that they can't change me. So you live, you like that.
So they want you to live your
Yeah, but still now me and they don't openly say I am transsexual or I like other women. They didn't know. Actually, I feel that they know, but they are not asking openly.
Okay. We have a caller joining us over the phone line. We have Saraswati who joins us from KR Puram. Yes, Saraswati, what do you have to say?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Saraswati.
I do very much welcome this decision by the Supreme Court. And I'm really surprised that all these days they did not get any benefits, because they are also human beings and they have all the feelings what any ordinary human being has. And also that it is not their decision to get their sex transformed. You know, it is naturally transformed. It's not their fault. And I don't know why we have to neglect them. And our society have a bad opinion about them, but that is what which force them and push them to do wrong things. Otherwise, you know, I would like to tell you something. About 40 years back, I was also going to college. 40 years back, there was a transgender person who was interested to study, and he was doing his BCom in college. I think it was BMS college or government college, I think.